welcome back to Classics with Kelsey and Sarah. And we're here today to talk about A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain.
Yeah, this was my first book by Mark Twain that I've read.
Yes, and I have read several others by Mark Twain, but not this one. Unfortunately, it was my absolute least favorite of any book I've read by him.
And kind of discouraged me from wanting to read any Twain again.
Which I think is unfortunate, because he is a good writer. He is a good writer. And you see glimpses of it in here. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, and in fact, you know, so the storyline is a Connecticut Yankee, Hank Morgan, a very business-minded fellow who's he somehow gets transported to King Arthur's England.
Yes.
So,
a great premise.
Oh yeah, a great premise. I mean, you can just imagine the comedy that would result from misunderstandings and different ways of life and viewpoints. And it started out actually quite funny.
Oh yes. Especially him, like, outwitting Merlin and stuff just with basic science and whatnot.
Right, using the advantage of his future insight, you know, that he knows, and then bringing it back.
And like they put him in this suit of armor because they assume he's a knight because he knows so much, and it's just like it's just his descriptions of being in this plated armor is pretty hilarious.
Being so hot and unable to breathe and move, and that was probably one of the best parts.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and so it started out well, and Mark Twain, he's a vivid writer, he's a funny writer,
right?
But then it kind of seemed to take a downturn, I think I was reading some about Mark Twain, and I read that he was kind of getting into a depression as he was writing this book, and I think that reflected in the course of this novel, just the way that it kind of some really hard things started to happen, really sad things. Hank Morgan just kind of, I didn't like where his character went.
No.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I struggle with the most is it just made everybody in King Arthur's time look like they'll believe anything anybody says because they're so stupid.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was very unbelievable because I don't think that there's ever been a time where people just believe anything anybody tells them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so that kind of detracted from the whole story. Because they have Hank Morgan being the only one who sees any flaws in logic. Yeah. So that was kind of sad. And then it just got, it got a little weird. And Hank Morgan also just got very mean.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he, you would have expected that he might have been trying to improve things there. And in a sense he was, but then he kind of took his character took a downgrade and just was just not someone you could really admire and root for.
Yeah, because he was trying to prove it, but mainly for his own benefit, not really because he cares about the state of the people.
Right, yeah. And I think maybe Mark Twain was trying to say something about society, like the society even of his day, just kind of, you know, kind of a social commentary as well. And but there just really wasn't hope in there, I guess, and so it just was kind of like depressing.
Exactly. It wasn't a very uplifting read, and not as funny as you would think. Like I said, especially the beginning had some really funny and hilarious parts. It was also a bit crude at places too.
Right.
I will say that. I mean, not over the top, but definitely not something I hand to a young child or.
Yeah. So you know, it's. If you haven't read any Mark Twain, don't start here.
Yes.
If you really, really like Mark Twain and you want to read all of his books, go ahead and read it. Otherwise, you know, just, you know,
read with caution.
Yeah. But I would say that the first part kind of made it worth it for me. Like, I enjoyed that.
At least I got a feel for some of Mark Twain, and there were some pretty funny parts at the beginning that did redeem some of the reading time. So
yeah. So, I guess that would wrap it up with A Connecticut Yankee.
Yeah.
And so
next week we're doing Practice the Presence of God, I believe, right?
Yes, that's right. So I hope you join us then. Thanks for watching.
All right. Bye.
Bye.